Welcome to Coffee Havoc number 2. This is part 3 of accountability. I deleted a video that was the original part 3 because of the slip of the tongue, and I don't want to tell you guys a lie. It was the wrong time in the wrong place, and I was mistaken for a Mexican. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind because concussions can fuck your memory up. So now let me tell the story like it was. I was coming from home. I was mistaken for a Mexican, and I was being talked to by the cops. But when the person misidentified me, they fixed the problem. And that's pretty much the long and short of that shit. Now, I deleted that shit because I had said that my college schedule and shit. That part was true, but where it happened was not in the right frame of my mental capacity. Alright, so now we got that covered. Now, what else I deleted was about your friends and your family know exactly who the hell you are. Alright? Like I said, I'm going to give you guys 99.9, so that's me owning the shit that slipped out my mouth, which was a true story, just got my locations fucked up. Alright? So therefore, now we're going to be back on track. Now, when you go out, because this is the big part of what I deleted, when you go out with your friends, you know who your friends are. You know if your friends are troublemakers. You know that. And they know who you are. And they know if you're a troublemaker. So if you got friends that are troublemakers and you choose not to go out with them, that's a good move. If you are the troublemaker and your friends choose not to go out with you, that's a good move. However, if you can't help yourself, then you should probably get some help at the things that you do. Because a lot of people really can't help themselves when they go cause problems and shit. Now, as I said, because I deleted this, let me put it out here. Your friends and your family know you fairly well. Literally, they know you fairly fucking well. So no matter how much they cry or twist the story, because the world don't need to know that you're a menace. The world doesn't need to know that you have misdemeanors or felonies and shit like that. The world don't need to know all that. But see, here's the thing. When we're crying, the cop shot my brother. I got 3 brothers. I know what they do. I'm not going to put them on blast here, but I know what they fucking do. They don't do anything illegal. My brothers all have good jobs. Better than my job. But I know how they are individually. Alright? Out of the 4 of us, I'm the only one who actually tells the fucking truth. Under no circumstances whatsoever do I need to lie. Which is why I said I deleted that 30-minute video that was supposed to be part 3, which is the final part. Now, talked a lot about my ex on that also, so that's probably a good idea to delete that shit. But anyway, the whole thing is, accountability. We need to take accountability. Oh yeah, I also did some martial arts in that. We need to take accountability for our actions. When we got people following these stories about how people are getting shot by cops, but they're not giving us everything because, as I said in the video, which I deleted, people are always catching the action at the midway to the climax. They don't catch it at the very beginning. Body cam footage has been doctored. All kinds of other things that has happened. Yeah, but you're not asking yourself, what did my child do? You're not telling yourself that maybe my child fucked up. And that's a problem. It's a problem because, the truth be told, that a lot of us don't want to admit that our children are not saints. And like I said, you know who you are. You know what you do. But when you get in trouble, all of a sudden, you got these magical angel wings. Your parents put them on you. Your friends put them on you. Society puts them on you. So that you don't look bad. But the truth of the matter is, no matter what they say, the truth always comes out. No matter what you do, well, you're done. Thank you for serving. No matter what you do, the truth is going to come out. Whew, that was a close one. And no matter where you go, you need to take accountability for your actions. You really do. Whether you choose to or not, it's up to you. Like I take an accountability of deleting my third video because I misspoke. I wouldn't say it was a lie, but it was a misspeak. I got two of my memories clashed. No, that happens a lot. So I'm sorry. If I delete a video, generally it's because either I got my memories clashed and I don't want to be called a liar, so I explain why I delete the video, which is what I just did. But you know, the problem is that we as people, we try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt even when we know that they've done some dumbass shit. And I admit it to all my speeding tickets. I admit it to a lot of things that I probably should not have admitted to. But the thing is, owning your shit is part of the game. And when you go out and do dumb shit and then you run from the cops, oh yeah, I guess I gotta put those rules back in because I deleted that too, I think. Rule number 1. If your ass is brown, you're probably going down. Without question. Rule number 2. Comply or you might die. My dad gave me a few rules to follow. When I started driving from Charlottesville to Richmond by myself in my 20s, my dad said, 10 and 2, and don't move till the cop tells you to. When the cop tells you to cut off the car, cut the fucking car off. Throw the keys on the dashboard. Let them sit there until the cops tell you otherwise. And most cops will require you to take the car keys out and throw them on the dashboard anyway. And if they don't, then they probably should. Now, if you have a registered weapon in the car, you need to tell the cop, did you have a registered weapon in the car? If you have a concealed weapon in the car, you need to tell the cops that you have a concealed weapon in the car, because nobody likes surprises. And that would also bring unwanted police attention to you. But once you tell them and inform them that you have your papers and that you have your weapons and you're set to go, you have a less chance of getting your ass shot. And on that, why the hell would you brandish a weapon at any police officer? That's about the dumbest thing you can ever do. Hey, Officer Bob. I'm strapped, bitch. Yeah, Officer Bob just put one down your throat because you brandished a gun at Officer Bob. But you should just say, yo, I got my concealed license. Are you carrying right now? Yes, sir. May I see the firearm? Yes, sir. Not that difficult. But see, people of color got that macho complex. Nah, motherfucker. You ain't seeing shit. You got a warrant. You're doing suspicious activity. That could be the excuse. I will tell you a fucked up ass story. And I've told you this before here on YouTube, so I'll tell you again. Many, many moons back, when I started my acting kick, and I got rejected by Sundance, and I got rejected by Millennium Studios, I got pulled over by the ATF agents because there was a serial rapist, and he had raped some lady in Willoughby, which is like through the park trail that was barely in existence at the time, and I didn't remember that there was even a trail over there, and I wasn't even nowhere near Willoughby. So I'm walking to go yell at my partner Bruce Johnson about this film that we did. It's called Fallen Dragons. I'm going to go yell at him and let him know that Sundance gave us the finger, and that Millennium never gave us the shit back and told me nothing. But on the way up there, I'm wearing blue jeans. That's denim, for those who don't know what blue jeans are. And a Nautica jacket. Shout out to Nautica products, by the way. I will never be wearing your stuff ever again unless you pay me, because it almost cost me my freedom for some shit that I didn't do. And this is back when cell phones was just getting their infancy. There was no texting, and if there was texting, my dumb ass didn't know how to use it. I'm walking up the street, got my backpack on, just hoofing it, trying to get there. 6 ATF agents pulled me over while I'm walking. They were in 2 Buicks and a Ford. They were Spanish and white. Maybe Italian instead of Spanish, but they look Spanish to me. That wasn't me trying to be racist, it just looked Spanish to me. Anyway, so they pulled me over. And they asked me a set of questions. The first question was, where were you at 7:30? And my answer was really simple. I was in the bed. about waking up at about 7:30 because it was just after 8:40 or so when they just had happened to pull me over. He's like, "Where were you at 8 o'clock?" And I said, "You don't want me to answer that question." And they said, "For your sake, you need to answer that question." I said, "Well, if you must know, I was taking a shit." I said, "Now, if you can call public records and they can tell you how many times I flushed the toilet, then you would know that that was me at 512 Rougemont taking a shit." I don't know if they could do that, but that's what I told them. I said, "Where were you at 8:25? I said, "Well, if I was in the bathroom taking a shit, you can bet your ass that I was just washing my ass about that time." Like I said, it's about 8:40 when they got me. So I had just got out of the shower. My hair was still wet. I got my clothes on. I took my bag with my rejected movie from Sundance, and I walked up the goddamn street. Now I'm on Hartman's. I hadn't gotten too far from my house, from this house on Rougemont. I had just got up the street when they got me. Now, this is where shit gets complicated. Can we go through your shit? Yes, you can. I told them everything they were going to find in there. My childhood pictures as baby so that my nephew wouldn't mustache the shit out of the motherfucker. My knife, my breath mints, and my rejected movie and the letter from Sundance. Went through my shit. He says, "Okay, well, where were you?" And I was like, "We just went through this shit. I told you. I was taking a shower, and I took a shit. And now I'm here with you guys. All in that 30-minute half of a span. So whatever happened to whoever you're after, it wasn't me." Well, the suspect was wearing a Nautica jumpsuit. I said, "Let me get this straight. As in a wool jogging suit." "Yeah." I said, "So these are denim pants. And this is a Nautica jacket. They're not made of the same stuff. Because one is cotton and one is denim. Alright?" So the guy said, "Okay, well, we can give you a ride to where you're going." And I said, "No, you fucking cannot." It's like, "What?" I said, "Man, you think I'm dumb? I study police procedure. The only time I'm allowed in this police car is if three things done happen. One, you're taking my ass to jail because you are arresting me for something that I've done and you've had a warrant. And now you finally got me where I ain't got no escape. Two, I am the victim of a crime. Three, I am in need of emergency assistance, which means I'm either having a heart attack or I've been shot and the ambulance is 20 minutes out, which means as a cop, your job is to save my ass, which means even if I'm bleeding out, you're going to throw me in that car. Otherwise, you do not have a legal means of putting me in a car and offering me a ride anywhere." And then there's number 4. If I broke down on 64 or any highway is the only legal time that a cop can give you a ride. And he was not happy that I knew that shit. Pushed his little glasses back up on his face and said, "Yeah, you're probably right. Well, go on about your business, son." I said, "Well, thank you, sir." So I put all my shit that they took out my bag back in my bag, and I'm walking to where I currently work. I wasn't working there at the time, and I ducked in there, and I explained to everybody in there that if they find me dead, the ATF agents did it. I don't have a gun. At this time, I didn't have a girlfriend. I did not break any laws, and I've never done drugs. So, if they find me dead, you guys make sure that I came in here and I told y'all everything that happened, because I told them everything that happened. That's the long and short. And then I went down to the university to talk to Bruce and to talk to my fellow actor, camera fella. His name was Bennett. That's all you're going to get. I told Bennett, I was like, "Yo, dude, can you pull up, like, whatever criminal's going on?" Now, get this. This is the funny part. I am 5'3" and a half. I ain't even the same color brown as this dude. And this dude was 6'4". And every bit of 200 plus pounds going around raping women. And he had 2 kids, and he worked at Harris Teeter. And his 2 kids are girls. So why the fuck would he be doing something that stupid? But I got hemmed up for that shit. My cousins, who are lighter than me, got hemmed up for that shit. So, and they don't break the law. At all. Now, one of them kind of broke the law. But that's another story for another day. The other one, he might kind of break the law. And then I had a fucking friend who was mental, who also got hemmed up for this shit. Who got money for this shit. But, the point of the matter was, you know who you are. Your friends and your family know who you are. The cops don't know who you are. So if you, just think of a cop as a regular person and you go do your thing and your thing is reckless and crazy and you choose to do something stupid, like brandishing a firearm in front of a cop without having your papers, you get shot. Well, one, cops feel like they're in danger 24 hours a day. That's something that you probably need to know. The cops feel like they're in danger 24 hours a day. It is one of the hardest jobs in the world. And they are exceptionally paranoid, especially over black people. Two, if you are black and you have not been taught that cops aren't exceptionally fond of us, and that also goes for black cops, they aren't really exceptionally fond of us, then someone has failed you. But the thing of the matter is, not all cops are bad. But not all black people are bad. But some of us just do some really dumb shit because of lack of knowledge, lack of ass whoopings, lack of consequences for your actions. These are the things that get you in deep shit. And this is how we wind up dying at the hands of a police officer. This is how it makes the news. But they don't give you the beginning. They give you the middle and the end. And then everybody comes off to their own opinion. And at the end of the day, your own opinion is only an opinion because the fact states for itself. When somebody is killed by a cop, you don't know what that person did. I am not victim blaming. I am not victim shaming. I am pointing out a simple, tiny little fact. We don't know what that person did to make that cop take their life. And maybe they did nothing. But running from the police is not the smartest idea that they had. Running from the police is not the smartest idea any of us can have. And if you own papers, it was just your time to get caught. That's all I'll tell that. But if you own papers and you decide to run and you get shot, again, it was your time to get caught. And secondly, again, and you can take this any way you want, I'm not victim blaming anybody. You know when you've broken the law and you're on papers. They generally send a warrant to your house. My harassment warrant that I got came to my house. I was at work. When I got to the house, I didn't ball it up. I didn't throw it in the trash can. The first damn thing I did was call the cops because my youngest brother, of all three of my brothers, my youngest brother, him and I live in the same city where my other two brothers live in the same city together down in Smithfield. And my youngest brother called me and said, because I was at work, said, what the fuck did you do? Did you got a warrant? You don't ever get in trouble. The fuck did you do? I'm thinking to myself, the fuck did I do? I'm playing back in my head because I'm about to leave work, And I didn't drive my car to work. I just walked to work because it was like a block and a half. And I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck did I go? What the fuck did I do? Well, as soon as I get home, let me call these motherfuckers because I need to know what the fuck I did before I go to jail for some shit that I might not have done. So I get home. First thing I do when I get the warrant, because my brother's gone, he left the warrant under my door, so I got the warrant. I read the warrant. The warrant was for some shit that happened months ago. Like months and months ago before I had to go to court for my ex because I had called on her birthday. Now, her birthday was in February of that year in question. And I called her because I had a moment of weakness. Thought I could win her back. Dumbass me. Now, fortunately, or unfortunately, they didn't come after me for that shit until fucking May. By fucking time fucking May came, I was over it. And I was done. It's like, alright, well, fuck it. It just ain't meant for me to know. And I just said, alright, I'm just going about life. I didn't think nothing else about that birthday call. Didn't think about that shit at all. Until I called the cop. Me and the cop had a good heart-to-heart. And I had a goddamn appointment in May with the judge. So then I talked to the judge. And me and the judge had a heart-to-heart. And I left that courtroom crying. And I've never been in trouble with the law since. Ever. I watched my speed. Misstep. I did get a speeding ticket not too long after that. And I owed Puffy Amiyumi that ticket. Because I was jamming the Puffy Amiyumi when I got that ticket. I got that ticket probably the summer time, like somewhere between August and September, after I had went to court in May. As I went to court in May, I made sure that everything that had anything to do with my ex was off my phone, period. Now, the reason for that was because I had just went to court in May and I had caught a virus on my phone from watching porn. And the damn phone was calling everybody. And it even called her. And I was like, that's not possible because I had deleted her number off my phone. And her pictures, everything that had anything to do with her was off my phone. Completely off my phone. After I had to talk with the judge, I made sure that was the first thing I did. But somehow or another, after I went to court, she had texted me. And I didn't know that she had texted me because I'm so stupid. I thought I texted her. Well, you can't ass text nobody on a flat screen. I mean, you probably can if the phone is open, but I always keep my phone in my front pocket. And once the screen goes black, it shouldn't be texting anybody because the phone's supposed to lock. Supposed to lock. But my phone had porn. It had a virus, and my phone was calling everybody and their mama. And it had called her, and I had to call her friend to cover my ass because I had just went to court for this shit. Yeah, and I won't try to go back to court for the same fucking shit. So, we solved that problem. And then I started listening to Puffy Amiyumi. And I was burning ass through Derry Road, Derry Avenue, some damn where by the university. I was doing every bit of 30 in a 25. Jamming. And the cop walked out with the radar gun. Flagged me over. I ain't had a ticket since. And the cop was real nice about it. It was a tall, white cop, old guy. He's probably the age I am now, maybe older. And he's like, you know how fast you was going? Go ahead and tell me no. I know you don't know how fast you was going because I seen your head bopping. It's like, damn, you got some good ass eyesight from all the way up here. He's like, yeah, I have excellent eyesight, son. I seen you when you came around the corner. Just bopping. I could hear your music before you got around the corner, so you might want to turn that shit down. But the speed limit on this road is 25, and you was doing every bit of 35 up in this bitch. I don't want to give you a ticket, son, but I got to give you a ticket because that was reckless endangerment. But I'm not going to give you a reckless endangerment ticket. I'm going to give you a normal speeding ticket. Now, you can pay it or you can contest it. And I said, ain't no way in hell I'm going to contest it, man. I know I'm guilty. I just didn't know I was speeding at the time. It's like, well, I know you didn't know you were speeding at the time, but I can't let you go. I got to give you the ticket. And we had a good conversation. Because whether you like it or not, police officers are still human. And that only proved it. And he was a white cop. I'm pretty sure he has no idea what the fuck I am, but he was a white cop. And we had a good talk. We even talked for about 10 minutes after he wrote the ticket. And he let me drive away, and he said, whatever you do, don't make me come right after you. Do not peel out. Do not take your wheels and burn rubber, because I will give you another ticket, and this time it will be that reckless endangerment ticket. Because when you come up here and go around the corner, it's a blind corner, and there's a church there on the right. And kids probably going to church because whatever religion it is, sometimes they have church on whatever day it was that I got the ticket. But anyway, because it wasn't a weekend. Anyway, I got the ticket. So like I said, your friends and your family and everybody but the police officers arresting you, they know who you are. So they know I'm a speed demon. They know that I cuss a lot. And they know that I'm mixed. They also know that I do kung fu and I don't take shit from nobody. But if I'm going to get killed, they won't be able to pin drugs on me. Because my family will damn sure know, well, James don't do no damn drugs. He might drink a little bit of alcohol. But when he drinks, he walks to wherever he's going to get his drink. Shout out to the Biltmore because I ain't been there in about 6 years. I had an alcoholic problem. Thank God my money ran out. When I come home from drinking, I close this door. I lock this door. Everyone on the other side of that door is safe. I will not hurt them because that door is locked. That window is locked. Anyone that comes through that door, I won't be held responsible. And now you see why if I drink, I lock that door. Can't cut off my training. But I can't save everyone from me. Now, they know I do kung fu. They know that I cuss. They know that I like to fight. So they're not going to do a lot of shit to me when I'm drunk. Because somebody's going to get hurt. And it ain't going to be me. So the moral of the story is you got to take accountability. When I drink, I take accountability. I don't drive my car. I walk to where I'm going to get my drink. I got a 3-drink minimum. I drink to get my buzz, and then I come the hell home. When I come home, I'll go pee or puke. I'll get in this room. I'll close and lock that door, and I will jump in that bed and go slam the fuck to sleep. I will turn the TV on the volume up, or I will look at the computer screen until I draw a blank and pray that I don't drop the bitch on the floor. And I'll go about my business. But for you young black people, as I end this, don't do the shit that you would do to bring attention to you. Don't do dumb shit. You don't have to have everybody looking at you when you go out. You don't have to you jump around and make sudden movements and shit like that. You don't need to be an attention whore to get death from the cops. Now, for everybody recording, this is for you, so I can finish this. You need to make sure that you narrate everything you saw before you hit the button, while hitting the button, or before you end the button. You need to make sure that at the end of that tape, you're like, yeah, well, what happened was, I saw these guys peeling around the corner just before I started hitting the record button. Now, had I heard them coming before they peeled around the corner, get the flack on and get the shit going real fast, then you can get everything from the beginning, or at least the beginning of where you are located. Because sometimes a crime will start here and nobody's recording it. But when it gets around that corner, still nobody's recording it until the cops or somebody snatched the guy out of the car. By then, you missed 40% of the whole damn shit. And the other 60% is what everyone else sees. And then the body cam's released. And then the police dash cam is released. And then you got to put it all together. And once you put it all together, you might be like, this motherfucker probably shouldn't have ran from the cops. Yeah. And then the other thing about that, before I go, adrenaline is an amazing thing. And adrenaline cannot be cut off in the blink of an eye. An adrenaline dump. If you want to know more about an adrenaline dump, you go ask Ramsey Dewey, Icy Mike, and Sensei Seth. An adrenaline dump, it takes a lot to calm down from an adrenaline, and an adrenaline dump ain't a big fucking stop. You have to slow that shit down, because once you get adrenaline, it's just like you don't ever stop. But once that adrenaline wears off, and you get an adrenaline dump, or rather it's like going like rocket, you can't just pop out of it okay, I'm good, because your heart's still racing, your mind's still racing. These things happen, and when you have an adrenaline dump with this still going and this still going, it is a fucked up ass feeling. Alright? Now I'm explaining that when I tell you guys about the car incident where I got punched in the face. I had an adrenaline dump when the cop told me that I stole the car. And I explained to him, no, I didn't. Because I was highly upset and my adrenaline was going. And once he told me that, I can cut it off. But I'm a martial artist. I have learned how to tame myself really, really good most of the time. Notice I said most of the time. That was one of the times that it was very important to tame myself. Because I did have my pinky in the trigger wall of this cop. And I could have killed him. And once he said, yeah, well, you stole this car. And I was like, I didn't steal shit. No. A guilty man would have done something different. I'm an innocent man. I didn't steal that motherfucker's car. Van. Whatever. I didn't steal the shit. But I know for a fact that I could have killed that cop because my hand was in his gun. Pinky. In the trigger wall. I didn't have to aim it because he was already on top of me with his leg and his arm under my throat. We people of color got to learn how to do some things. And we need to change it. And we need to change it now. 1. Teach your kids. 1. You don't have to be afraid of the police. And that you should respect them. And their authority. 2. Under no circumstances whatsoever, whatever the fuck you did, do not run from the police. We can work this criminal thing out with legality. 4. Running from the police only makes shit worse for you. When you don't tell your children this shit, when they don't have the knowledge they need, You find yourself at a motherfucking funeral. Do you hear me? You find yourself at a funeral. So you parents out there, raising young black people, raising young Asian people, raising young white people, you need to explain to them how the world works. Because cops also shoot white people. They also shoot Asian people. They don't shoot them as much as they shoot black people, but they do shoot them. Now, you can go on about this all damn day. But see, a lot of the white cats that don't get shot when ruling butcher knives and shit out at cops, or chasing cops around cars, and the female cop that tased the guy instead of like shooting him managed to wind up shooting him. Yeah, you gotta take accountability. Now this guy was charging at her, so the cop shot him. Wasn't no big fucking deal, and he was a white man. But she did try to wing him. She didn't try to like unload all the way into him. Now the guy that I'm talking about with the knife that was like at a Taco Bell or some shit many years ago, they tried to shoot him with the stun gun. But when black people do shit, they use firearm. Now the other day, about a month ago, I can't really say the other day, about a month or two ago actually, I watched a white guy chase a white guy. They were two. One was a cop, the other one wasn't. Now, the white guy that the cop was chasing literally pulled the gun out on the cop and shot the cop. But the cop, this is like in Florida. You guys can find that shit on Instagram. The cop first had the stun gun, and he was chasing him, and he zapped the dude, but he missed the first time. Now he then pulled out his firearm and was chasing the guy, and you can see him on body cam reload the stun gun and cock the main gun, and he's running with both guns in his hands. Then he puts his handgun back in his holster and pulls out the taser. He's running with the guy. Boom, he got him. And he said, why the fuck did you do that? And you shot me. And he shot the shit out of him. And then there's two partners coming. This is like Miami-Dade cops, I guess. It's like, you alright, man? You hit? Yeah, I'm hit, but I'm not really that bad. And then this adrenaline is just dumping. And it's like, nah, you need to stop now. We need to get you some medical. And so they get him medical and all. But he zapped the white guy. The white guy literally pointed a handgun at him, and he had his handgun, and he switched both hands. Because he had the handgun in his left hand, and he switched it. As he was running, he's loading the damn taser also. And I'm like, you missed him with the taser the first time. Shoot him in the leg. He didn't shoot him in the leg. He just kept cutting after the guy. And then he finally got him, and he used the taser again instead of shooting him. So, you know, when you hear these stories and you're thinking, how did this happen? So people do get fucked up no matter what color they are. But the problem is, a lot more black people don't get tased as much as white people get tased. And then with the increased hatred of Asian people these days, it's kind of catch-22. But they can thank Trump for that. The Kung Flu virus and the Chinese virus, as he calls it, which has increased the attacks on Asians and stuff like that. And the Asians have also started buying firearms because they're mad as hell and they're not going to take it anymore. And I don't blame them not one damn bit. But before I go, you have to take yourself into accountability for the bad shit that you do. Not everybody's 1,000% good all the time. And when you fuck up, you need to own it. And I don't give a fuck who I offend with this video, but when you fuck up, you need to own it. And don't run from the goddamn cops. Because if your ass is brown, you're probably going down. And not just down the hard way. You might wind up dead. Thanks for watching. And I'm sorry if I have offended anybody. To a degree.